What is going on, my friends? So today I decided to do a little testing. I actually haven't tested for a while in MK Mobile, and currently it's so much easier to test due to the fact that you can mark certain items as favorites. So what I did is I tested all Diamond Martial Artist Special 2. I wanted to see which one is the strongest. So what I would do is I will go into fight, do one Special to make sure that at least the biggest mini hit isn't lethal. So if we're talking classic Raiden, it's almost impossible not to have a single lethal hit, so yeah, whatever. But if we're talking, for example, classic Lucane or classic Rain people with 2 or 3 mini hits, I'll make sure that none of them is lethal, and then I will close the fight. So I do Special 2 and I close the fight, and every single character had the same, exactly the same piece of equipment and exactly the same team. Boraicho and Scorpion, exactly the same talent set. And I will give them these pieces. Every single one of the characters had these pieces: Missile Gap, Enigmatic Lantern, Thunderlord, Stormweaver, and the Ice Bomb. So this is how I would test. I'm just showing you in the beginning for a very short period of time how I approach the testing, and then I will actually show you the results, and trust me, they're quite interesting. At least they were to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Special 2 with Classic Lucane, Special 2, bam, and then I will immediately close. With some characters, they have some kind of a long animation after the end of Special 2. I wait for this animation also to finish. For example, the Joker, for example, MK1 Kenshi, and so forth. And then I will go to the battle log and I will see what is the damage. Currently, it was just a critical hit and it dealt 264,000 damage. So I would do that for every single one of the martial artists, and then I would compile them in a chart so that you can see which is the character with the highest damage in the game, of course, when it comes to Special 2. So these are my findings. Quite interesting, right? We have a clear winner and a clear loser, because by far I tested it multiple times with MK11 Lucane. He deals something around 380,000 damage. Sometimes if he literally hit, he can do even up to 500,000. It was crazy, but only critical hits for now, because you can control them easier. So 380,000 damage Special 2, that's crazy. And the worst guy is actually Tormented Soul Spawn, who only did 166,000. I tested like 3 or 4 times. I was like, wow, he really didn't do that much. Was that a bug? Or the guy that I was fighting had tremendous amount of toughness or something? So I tested it multiple times. He did actually rank lowest. And in between, you can see that there are, let's say, 3 or 4, even 5 characters that rank in, they're between number 2 and number 5, and their Special 2 is dealing somewhere in the range of 180,000 to 300,000. That's crazy. Ronin Kenshi, MK11 Scorpion, Classic Raiden, Strike Force Scorpion, and Assassin Jade. After that, we have guys in the range 260 to 280,000, MK1 Takeda, Ronin Kitana, Circle Shao Lucane, Classic Lucane, also we just mentioned 264,000 damage. Then we have guys that are doing between 240,000 to 250,000, and then we have the Joker, Classic Rain, and Spawn last. And when I saw this, I was like, I knew that MK11 Lucane was doing so much damage, but I never knew that it was really crazy high compared to the second. I mean, the second highest, like 80,000, that's almost 30% lower. I was like, wow. However, there's something that we need to take into consideration when we determine which is the best special attack tool. Of course, I'm not going to talk about the debuffs on the special attack, and some special attacks can be bad just because of the recovery animation, like we already mentioned that. For example, even if you do 200,000 damage or 400,000 damage against a boss, for instance, if you have super long recovery animation, you're going to get hit and destroyed, so you won't be able to chain it that easily. While if you have, for instance, stun or something, or you don't have very high recovery speed and you have instant recovery, then you can keep chaining it. We're not talking about this, we're just talking damage in this particular thing. And there is one more thing that you need to take into consideration when it comes to the best special attack. In Faction Wars or in Crypt, it doesn't really matter. I mean, even Tormented Soul Spawn will do, because in very rare cases there will be characters that will have more than 160,000 health, and that's if you never touch them. So if you just do another special one or something, or let's say they are 80% health already, you can still one-shot them using Special 2 of Spawn. But still, about 200,000 damage is perfectly fine. You can kill anybody in Faction Wars and in the Crypt, unless it is not a boss in the final stage of the Crypt. But there is one thing else that we need to take into consideration. So let's show you something else. It is the same graph, but this time we have a line, and this line shows how many seconds it takes each character to deliver this damage. And you can see that MK11 Liu Kang is kind of mid. He's not the slowest, but he's not the fastest. And there is one character that is by far the winner when it comes to the fastest guy to deliver damage, and this is classic Liu Kang. Remember the debate we had with the Shaolin Monk? He was actually saying that this thing matters against bosses is the damage per second of the special attack too, when we are comparing Baraka and Flaming Fist Liu Kang. This is the same thing. So you're doing, classic Liu Kang is doing about 280, 260,000 damage, but for 2 seconds, while MK11 Liu Kang is doing more, 280,000 seconds, but for 5 seconds. So the question now is, which one is better? Because apparently, if I can do 280,000 damage for 2 seconds, it will be better than doing 380,000 damage for 5 seconds. So what we're going to do now is we're going to divide the damage, divided by the seconds it takes every character to deliver the special 2. So in other words, we are going to compare the damage per second. And there we go, we have a clear winner here. Classic Liu Kang. There is a reason why Classic Liu Kang is used as a boss killer in a lot of cases. Even if you remember, I believe it was Chess who defeated the Black Dragon Tower without any equipment, Black Dragon Tower equipment, using only Classic Liu Kang because of his ability to deliver a lot of damage super fast. Classic Liu Kang can do tons of damage by spamming Special 2. Granted, MK11 Liu Kang's Special 2 is stronger, but it takes him more time to deliver it. So if we're talking purely damage per second, we have a clear winner. Still though, MK11 Liu Kang is second, which basically means that his Special 2 is awesome. But the difference between him and characters such as Assassin Jade and even Ronin Kitana and Circle of Shadow Liu Kang is not really huge. We're talking about probably 5 to 6, 7,000 damage per second. So it's not amazing. Still, if you put a lot of tower gear, this difference will increase. Still though, Spawn is still the last, only 27,000 damage per second on Special 2. That's super unfortunate. We have the Joker, which is very close to Spawn, 31,000 damage per second. And in the middle, we have MK11 Scorpion, we have Cold Sub-Zero, we have Strike Force Scorpion, we have MK1 Takeda. By the way, MK1 Takeda, only with 56,000 damage per second, not really that great. Even the only thing that he's doing Special 2 spam is not among the best there as well. When it comes to damage, he was like mid. When it comes to damage per second, he's again mid, so it's not really the very best Special 2 in the game when it comes to killing bosses and stuff. There are better ones when it comes to damage, of course. So yeah, I was very shocked to find out that Assassin Jade actually ranked 3rd. Assassin Jade Special 2 is amazing. The problem with Assassin Jade Special 2 is it's a little bit difficult for her to chain it. They can tag out almost like all the time, so we need to make sure that you find a way to snare them. But everything else equal, if you find a way to spam her Special 2, she can do nasty damage. Still, the winner, damage over time, damage per second, Special 2 damage per second, without... And it's not even close, as you can see, it's not even close, it is Classic Liu Kang. I tested his Special 2 multiple times, I tested the MK11 Liu Kang, Assassin Jade, Ronin Kitana Special 2 multiple times to make sure that it's kind of... I mean, I didn't miss any little hit or something like this. So yeah. Currently, we have a clear winner, Classic Liu Kang, when it comes to damage per second, and we have a clear winner when it comes to pure damage, or let's say damage per spent bar of power. This is MK11 Liu Kang. So Liu Kang's rock. I hope you found this video useful, I hope you had fun. See you next time, have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.
Perfect.